It's that time, everyone. It's Saturday, and this is my weekly live stream about the diet matrix. Today, we have moved past through the construct wall of the matrix, and I'm going to show you what our natural diet looks like, and specifically how to eat this natural low-fat diet without falling off of it, which a lot of people do. Okay, because I'm taking questions, I want to wait for a few people to show up here. And so we will. So I'm going to do my my introduction stuff, setting everything up while we're waiting.
All is for the best. Believe in what we're told. Blind man in the market, buying what they're
Sold. What have you been sold? What kind of stuff have you bought lately? Because we all buy things that are not true. Because we're all born into a matrix known as society. Societies go against nature. And that's the reason societies are more built up in the colder climates. We're going to get into that. I will be your host for the next maybe 40 minutes. I'm Gary, the vegan CarboRaider, on YouTube for 6 years now. Yeah. Can you guess the key for staying on a healthy diet, a low-fat diet? Post your comments. Let me know how the stream is, the audio and video. I got a couple of comments now. Hi, Gary. Is there a healthy way to eat an all-raw diet? That's a good question. That's been going around lately. Vegan Jerry is here. He says, Rush. Yep. All the music you'll be hearing today will be from the band Rush, who started their career 40 years ago. Oh wow, here's someone, I guess, trolling, asking if I can play some good Rush. Well, as opposed to, I don't know, I think he's talking about other songs, not this one I played there. This one's a song that's kind of new to me, and this whole album is just amazing. There's not one person in the comments here. Look at the comments. Not one person is saying, this is not that good. Love how Rush always refines and reinvents. Guy on drums never ceases to amaze. Love Rush's dark sounds. I dig the acoustic intro. You know, there's always people that dislike, you know. But look at this dislike ratio. Anyway, more comments here. How do you fight salt cravings? I don't think that's a nutrient craving. I think it's just an addiction for salty foods. And I've been able to get by that pretty easy using the technique of just avoiding those foods. You get it out of your system, out of your mind, that is. If you're eating enough fruits and vegetables, you'll be getting enough salts, iodine. You'll just be getting more minerals than ever. And then you won't have cravings. As for how to eat an all raw diet, oh yes. I guess Vegan Gains started this discussion. I didn't see that video. Yeah, I've seen that kind of thing before. And I would agree it's often hard for people to do 100% raw. Now I could do it. I've done it for a month or so. But I guess you could use nuts if you can get raw nuts. There's some raw things. You gotta keep the nuts in the evening. But basically you need enough variety, especially of fruits. And that's because people are going to notice after a while of eating so many bananas and pears, you're going to lose your taste for that. It's going to get harder to eat enough because you lose your appetite. It's called pellet burnout. I only heard that name recently, but I've known of this condition for a long time. I think this is what happened to Durian Rider, who relied on bananas so much. I predicted that he would run into a problem like I did, because I started a high banana eating back in '94. And these days I can only eat so many of them. Now, if I could get chirimoya and guavas, not guavas, something else, other fruits, a lot of variety, then I could do all raw. And it would help to be in the tropics, right? But you can get those foods if you're not in the tropics. It's just more expensive. And that makes me think of Raw Christina, who's got lots of money. I just don't want to put that much money into food, But nutritionally, I don't believe there's anything wrong with 100% raw. Because after all, the cooked food I eat, potatoes, grains, that's basically poor man's fruit. It's very similar to fruit, only it's just not as good. There's less nutrients in it. You're not getting other stuff. It's not supplementing the nutrients. Okay, more comments coming in here. Russia's pretty meh. That's weird. Your tastes are just not high level enough. You do realize that they have the most, what do you call it, extreme fans. there's who say they're the best, and there's a reason for that. So I'm gonna have to delete this. That's baloney. They do really obscure music. It's sometimes hard for people to grasp, but they're always high level. And the recent album just blows my mind. And you wonder why didn't they do this all along? A lot of experimental stuff they did. Yeah, they've said they don't make music with the purpose of pleasing the audience. They go into their own world, and whatever comes out, they can't help it. I see all people's society as a kind of cults. There are evil and good cults. By the way, the word cult comes from the word culture. That's right, I realized that back when people started calling this a cult. 2010. Yep, that is a good point. Where do you stand on the nuts and seeds issue? Furman versus Nelson. I'm not up on that one. On whether they're raw or not, maybe. Yeah, sometimes they're not raw. And it's easy to overdo them. You got to watch out for that. What do you recommend for proper EPA, DHA absorption? I don't worry about that. I think nature will take care of that. Although that question seems a little strange. And that's just fat, right? Doesn't the body make fat? Doesn't it turn carbs into fat? If it needs to. Yeah. Okay. Did you see Foot Soldier's video yesterday on chlorella oil? Nope. Gary, don't get sidetracked, Bun Rush. I know. We don't have all that. Yeah, that's why I stepped there. Does Rush have a new album? Well, it's new to me, because I didn't have time to get into it. 2012. So now, it's almost time to escape the diet matrix and discover the CarboRaider Diet. I think we need some music for that.
Believe in what we're told until our final breath. While I love and watchmaker lions us all to death.
But I want to cover this first here. There was some vegan I was following on YouTube. But he suddenly is making anti-vegan diets videos. He's calling veganism extreme and unnatural. But dude, David, you were making pro-vegan videos for years. This guy has 2,000 subs, and it's become clear to me that he's just trying to get views. Guess what diet he's now trying? Yeah. So someone commented back to me, vegan diet is natural? Why? Oh, why do most kids hate their veggies but won't blink an eye for any piece of meat? Can you see how deep this guy is in the matrix? He said, I live in New York and can tell you that nothing grows here to eat, but the herbivore animals have forests and trees and shrubs. Right there, he's almost admitting that in New York, there is not the kind of food for us. Almost admitting we're frugivores. He said, around here, the natural diet would have been animals. Do you see what's wrong with his thinking there? Dang. There we go. So I responded back. This is an hour ago. I said, that area, New York, is not our indigenous environment, clearly, because animals are not in our natural diet. Humans migrated from the tropics. As for why do most kids hate their veggies? And that seems like a good question until you hear the answer. For one, humans are fruit eaters. We're not veggie eaters. Also, that baby food being fed to them. I was just thinking about this yesterday. They're giving all that mushy stuff. Would you like that? Would you eat that stuff? Maybe carrots. Oh, and it's cooked and then it's put into a jar where it sits around and the taste degrades. Well, you know the difference between canned vegetables and fresh cooked. And that's unnatural, right? Give them fruit. As for won't blink an eye for a piece of meat, well, this person is just making stuff up here, just assuming. Because adults like meat. Who doesn't like meat? But I told him, do you know about the terrible twos? 2 years old is when parents are supposed to introduce their babies to things like grains and meat. Look at any parenting forum on the internet. Check it out. And what you're going to see is it's filled with parents having trouble and asking for advice on how to introduce meat, to get their babies to eat meat. I've seen this. Just go and look. It's a phenomenon. And right there, it's pretty obvious to me what the problem is. Babies are still in their natural state. Yeah, they're natural when they're born, but then they're born into this matrix where their parents are trying to feed them meat. And at first, they resist it. All right, we'll close that out now. Get into my book.
Until I find a thrill, while I love and watch me
CarboRaider Diet. What can I eat? You can eat every natural food group. 6 food groups you can eat. People think there's only 4, and half of them are animal products. No, animal products aren't food. With just plants, there are 6 food groups. Fruits, vegetables, grains, beans, nuts, and seeds. Now, think about it. People don't eat much of that. These are all the foods. These are all the normal, natural foods, and people don't eat much of those foods. They are deficient. Then they go vegan and start eating low-calorie foods, too much vegetables, and they're not getting enough calories now, on top of being deficient in nutrients. You can see why they fail on the vegan diet. Here is my book in the EPUB form. You can get it in just about any format. Let's get to the table of contents. Dynamic with clickable links here. So here, let's see, we got into the real world here. Well, I like eating this way. Let's go into this chapter. So I click there and it takes me right to chapter 2. Okay, we did permanent weight loss last week. How the diet works. This way of losing weight is different from most diets. It works oppositely. And therefore it works permanently, right? People diet even though they know it's temporary because they don't know anything else. Well, this is it right here. And you can see the few people watching. This information just doesn't get out to people. It's the bull crap that gets out, gets shared. Crazy stuff. Oh, check this out. It's crazy. I got to show other people this stuff. Most diets cut calories, which force the body to use fat storage. The problem there is the body stays in fat storage mode. It stays in that mode because it's expecting another lack of food. And so it's going to restore that emergency fat. Okay, the whole book isn't really about weight loss, though. The diet I am recommending is a high-calorie, low-fat, not super low-fat. No. You don't need to restrict that much. It gives your body a reason not to store fat and a reason not to quit. Yeah. And don't give yourself reasons to quit. It will actually get rid of the fat once it realizes it doesn't need it anymore. This is often a slow process, but it's permanent. Right there, I sounded like Dr. Gregory. That was weird. Didn't mean to do that. It's often a slow process. He cracks me up. You've heard of low-fat diets before, but the reason it's not recognized as a solution is, number one, it's not coupled with high-calorie Low calories, unsustainable. You need enough calories. Number 2, our world has people believing that low fat is anything below 30% of calories. That's not low. See, people thought they were going low fat by cutting their calories to like 25%. But no, they weren't doing the low fat diet. And they didn't get much results. It should be under 20%. Many people think this is extreme. No. What is extreme is this matrix that people are enveloped in, where 45% fat is considered normal. That's because our society has all these unnatural products that give us just a lot of fat. It's fat in so many things. The next chapter shows that a diet under 20% fat is found all over nature, and even in the techniques, even in the teachings of dietitians. Diet teachers, here's a list of diet teachers that recommend 10% fat. Now, I don't go to that extreme. I'd say that 15 is fine. Maybe 20, maybe. So this list here, Pritikin, the World Health Organization, even says 10%. It's fine. It's the way to go. Dr. Neil Bernard, Dr. Dean Ornish, Dr. John McDougall, T. Colin Campbell, Doug Graham, Dr. Esselstyn. There's some good stuff there. But will I like eating this way? That's the next page. You are about to change your beliefs. You will actually like eating this way. Almost no one would believe that, and that's because their brain has been altered into thinking in a different way, eating all these unnatural foods. But you can reverse that. There's no reason to get bored on this diet, because most variety is found in the plant kingdom. Many people, even chefs, find a plant-based diet to be exciting and adventuresome. I found this in the mid-90s. This was like my my big interest back then was food. I became this foodie. It was exciting. And I've heard that recent years, chefs are seeing the same thing. They enjoy the different tastes and textures. And I discovered this phenomenon when I gave up a bad food. I find much more comes into my life. You're opening the door. You're creating this void. You just need to fill it. I see raw vegans using the word abundance a lot. Yes. Especially during those days of raw foodism, 2008 to 2012. The word abundance just comes up a lot, and I resonated with that. Yeah, that's the word for it. life opens up to you only when you let go of the addictions holding you back. With new foods alone, consider these delicious foods that you probably live without. Ambrosia melon. I haven't had those in years. Even I haven't, you know. They're not that common. Dates. Really? These days it seems strange that I never ate a date until around 2011 or 10. I was in my mid-30s. No, I was early 40s. For some reason, never had dates. And I only discovered them because I was into a high-fruit diet with no animal products. So there's this opening for other foods. And I'd be looking for fruit. I'd go to farmers markets. Okay. See, jackfruit, right? Yeah, you can. I think jackfruits are just becoming more popular now. I'm starting to see them, and I never saw them back in the 90s. Same thing for papaya. Got to take a break. Okay. Might as well mention that yeah, I was using wire for the internet. And I had to remove it. Yeah, I can't explain that. There's only certain times I can do that. Anyway, back to the book here. Yeah, I only have a few more minutes anyway. Wow, it's only been 30 minutes. Yeah, that schedule. The timing did not work out right there. Yeah, back to the foods. Yeah, papaya. I guess that just only became common in the market. Like, let's see. Yeah, I first found it at a farmer's market, 2010. And I guess that's when it started getting more popular. I never knew of them in the 90s. Okay, lentils. Yeah, I don't know why people don't eat lentils, man. That's because they're eating hamburgers. Hazelnuts. You know, the average person doesn't eat these foods. Even granola. Have you ever had a hummy melon? How about a Santa Claus melon? Those are some of my favorites. Yeah. I actually fell into veganism because I was finding so many plant foods. Yeah. Never got around to eating meat again. All right, calories in out. We'll skip that for now. Fuel the body with the CarboRaider Diet. That's right. That's right. You gotta rate those carbs, man. Eat as much as you want. That's how you send a signal to your body that But there's no lack. You're getting all the stuff to be storing fat. Because it's a myth that the body stores fat just because it's got extra calories. You know, Bart was saying the body can regulate a lot of things. And then he says a seed needs proper conditions to grow. It can't grow in the cement. You are not weak and undisciplined. You are hungry for nutrients. Yes, do you realize most people, well, not most, a lot of people in the U.S. are hungry all the time, and yet they're overweight. Okay, that kind of proves my point. You see? Your body doesn't want you to have willpower, and willpower is not going to last. So why bother using that method? Your body wants a flood of vitamins, minerals, and carbohydrates that are easy to digest. When you give your body this abundance of what it needs, you won't need the willpower to resist temptation for unhealthy foods. This is because people crave unhealthy foods partly because they're high in calories. We may, oh yeah, this gets into psychology. I made a whole chapter on the psychology of food. There's a link to it in chapter 7 here. Right there's a link. So, yeah, because, oh man, I find that I'm a natural when it comes to psychology. And what I see is that people might think they just want certain foods, but there's a lot going on in your psyche. Oh, the next thing I say, that there's more going on. Deeper in the psyche there. And basically, your body is programmed for survival. It will get you to want certain foods because it is recognized it's high in calories. And I've escaped this. I have found that if I'm loading up, what I mean loading up. Papaya. Look at this thing, man. Roma. Yep, that's what you want. Yeah, think about it. Fruit is the only food in nature that gives off an aroma for us. Let's see, the exact diet. Let's see if I can find this here. A little bit about fruit here. Since I was just showing some fruit here, let's see what I said. Much ado about fruit. There is so much ado out there. Oh, so many negative BS about fruit. It's amazing. It's interesting. Much of the negative claims about fruit are really a bunch of ado about nothing. And I find it interesting. Let's move this out of the way here. Yeah. Interesting that the main food on earth and the original food of humans is so villainized. I find it very interesting. I wrote this like 3 years ago, and basically my thought process is exactly the same. Detractors take advantage of the fact that fruit has sugar in it. Oh, they sure take advantage of that. But you should think of sugar as the refined product, table sugar. Fruit is not sugar. The only thing wrong with sugar is when it is refined. Even then, you have to eat a lot of it for it to cause problems. And many people do. Let's see here. Yeah. Chimp diet. There's the truth right there. I need to move this out of the way here. There's the chimp's diet. Fruit. Then blossoms. And greens. There's the bulk. We don't have to even look at the rest. Look at the bulk here. That's what they go for. Fruit, the diet. Here it is, chapter 4. Let's see. Tricks. Some tricks. Substitution. Milk alternatives. Lentils being similar to meat. I was thinking about that the other day. There's so many things you can do with food people don't do. Widen your view of eating customs. Right, develop new customs. Yes, much better life. Snacking on fruit all morning is very refreshing. It expands your thinking. That reminds me, I want to do some videos finally about protein myths, because some people are going to be thinking about protein. Well, you don't have to. I'll be showing that. Yucca root persimmons, right? I didn't know persimmons were a thing until just a few years ago. Now I see people with persimmons trees in their front yards. Yeah. There are over 7 types of melons. Different foods that you know about. You can find them in ethnic stores like jackfruit, rambutans. Look in Asian markets. And I shopped in a Mexican supermarket, when I lived out in the California desert, not far from Mexico. Yeah, that store was my main store for 6 years. Good stuff. Yeah. Mexican food. Just leave out the lard. 6 types of grains. 6 types of beans. Find them in the bulk bin section. You save money also. Typical day of eating. Aha. Okay, we'll end with this. Because I need to eat. Eat some fruit. There's plenty of flexibility in this way of eating. Here are some descriptions of what the diet can look like. We'll start with morning, and next week we'll get into afternoon. Morning, fruit. Fruit. Start eating fruit. When you eat fruit, eat it like a meal, not a snack. Eat until full. This may be 3 pieces or 7 in a meal, but 3 is a minimum. Yep. Most people have 1 piece or 2. Or 2 is a lot. That barely keeps you from being hungry. Yes, think about it. When I eat fruit, it makes me hungry. Eat this. You'll be stuffed. And you might still have that feeling. Well, that's common at first, but it will go away. Trust me, you want to invest some time into this diet, because when you come out the other side, it's awesome. I recommend 30% or more of your calories to come from fruit, but you can lose weight with less. But man, you want the fruit. You want the fruit. In the morning, have 2 or 3 fruit meals. For each fruit meal, aim for 300 to 800 calories. See the wide range there that I put in? See, I'm giving you flexibility. You can be flexible. I'm guessing you are wondering about protein now. That's there in the book, yeah? Pretty good, huh? Yeah, this book, see, I'm not in my own mind. I'm thinking, when I'm writing here and making videos, I'm thinking about the listener. I can do that because I'm an empath instead of a sociopath. I know about those people. I understand the way their minds work. Oh, look at this chart here. Now, this is real helpful to know this. That I can look at any fruit and tell you how many calories per serving. This is about 50 calories a serving. This is 70, 50, 50. And you want to really make sure you get or only 30 calories for a serving. I've tried to go on melon diets just because it sounds fun. But I just couldn't do it. By the end of the day, I was just starving. After eating like 12 pounds of melon, I'm starving. Oh, I just remembered. I just realized I'm probably getting a lot of comments. I'll go through some comments, look for some questions. Then we'll call it a day. Here's someone saying I had a tomahawk ribeye steak earlier. That's Lone Star, one of my trolls from the Carney community. Go back to your circus. By the way, that Rush album I've been playing from, I just noticed a few days ago, they got a song called The Carnies. And I was a little disappointed that it there's a crossover. Okay. This hoax has been going on since the 70s, with hospitals full of patients. I am from Europe, and I eat for $20 a week. Put a bit of flaxseed in your smoothie, oatmeal. Well, that's 20 euros, right? I don't know about that. But you can eat pretty cheap. You just don't go to the mainstream stores. Just look for all those other stores. Some are hard to see. Yeah, they're small. So the hormone and antibiotic levels are... All right. Everyone remember to like this video. I'm going to use my channel to tell everyone how I lost 30K on the SAD diet. You'll gain it back. Yeah. They succeed and fail in falling into and staying comfy in their pleasure trap. While Gary leads up to his next point, why not give some time? What? Right. What is the CarboRaider Diet Manifesto in a nutshell? Oh, okay. Well, I think I said that. It's a low-fat diet, but it's high in calories, and it's very flexible. It's in that it's high raw, high fruit, but it doesn't go extreme. You can still eat any food, any plant food group. You can eat cooked food. Just got to get the timing and percentages right. It seems like vegans are more united than in the past. I don't think so. To defeat the carnivores? Oh, maybe. But are we defeating them? I think we gotta just use that community to put out the truth and then move away and stop catering to them and stop letting them control our narrative. Get back to making vegan videos. Oh, Nelson says the nuts and seeds are not needed. Okay, I agree with that. You don't need them, but having a little bit won't hurt you and might be helpful, especially in transition. You want to work your way up and don't go too extreme. But technically, yeah, they're not needed. But you really have to be eating at a real high natural level, which a lot of people just don't want to do. And that's where the CarboRaider diet comes in. It gives you a lot of flexibility. All right, we're done here with the questions. I hope you have gotten a lot out of this video. So there's so much to talk about. Hope you enjoyed it. Rate this video a thumbs up or down. Subscribe and make sure you got notifications on for next week. And also, I've got a Reddit page for this diet. Follow me on Twitter. Really, there's not enough of my viewers following my Twitter action. I put stuff there that I would like to make a video about, but I don't have time. And it's something I can just put in a tweet. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Let's see, yeah. I think I got a video coming tomorrow. Gonna be outdoors. Outdoors, yeah. Okay, bye everybody.